Listen up. You say you want to be a man, then act like one. I'm not talking about your age. I'm not talking about your size. I'm not talking about how deep your voice is or how much weight you can lift. I'm talking about what you stand for. I'm talking about your character, your work ethic, your decision making, your integrity. Because a real man doesn't run when it gets hard. A real man doesn't make excuses. A real man doesn't blame his past, his parents, his boss, or his situation. A real man looks in the mirror and says, it's on me. It's on me to be better. It's on me to show up every day. It's on me to provide. It's on me to protect. It's on me to push through no matter what. Some of you want to be men, but you're still crying over what happened yesterday. Still making the same excuses. Still waiting for someone to come save you. No splash. Nobody's coming. If you want something, you got to go get it. A man doesn't wait. A man doesn't hope. A man doesn't wish. A man gets up and makes it happen. You say you're tired, so what? Everybody's tired. You say it's hard, so what? Life is hard, but men don't fold, men don't quit, men don't break when things don't go their way. You don't retreat, you don't back down, you stand up, you fight for your family, you fight for your dreams, you fight for your legacy. Be a man, that means discipline, that means responsibility, that means sacrifice. You want to be a man? Then get up every morning like your life depends on it, because it does. Handle your business. Take care of your family. Lead with strength. Be a rock when the world is shaken. Because a real man doesn't just survive. A real man thrives. A real man conquers. A real man leaves a legacy. So today, right now, make the decision. Be a man. Taking full responsibility is the foundation of becoming a real man. It means looking in the mirror and understanding that everything in your life, your success, your failures, your wins, your losses, is a direct result of your actions, your decisions, and your mindset. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or the way you were raised, but none of that changes your reality. If you want to be a man, you have to own everything. No more pointing fingers. No more excuses. No more waiting for someone to come and fix your problems. If something isn't right in your life, it's your job to change it. Most people don't take responsibility because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to say, I didn't have the right opportunities, or I wasn't given a fair chance. But the truth is, life isn't fair. It never has been, and it never will be. A man doesn't sit around complaining about what he didn't get. He gets up and makes something happen. He figures it out. He works with what he has, and he grinds until he changes his situation. The world does not owe you anything, and the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can start building the life you want. When you take full responsibility, you take full control. If you blame other people or external factors for where you are, you give away your power. You become a victim. But the moment you say, this is on me, you take that power back. That's when you start seeing results. That's when you stop waiting and start doing. That's when you stop hoping and start creating. Nobody is going to hand you success. Nobody is going to come and save you. If you want something, you have to go get it. Responsibility is not just about your career or your finances. It's about every area of your life. It's about your relationships, your health, your mindset, and your habits. If you're out of shape, that's on you. If your relationships are falling apart, that's on you. If you're not where you want to be in life, that's on you. The moment you take ownership of your situation, you also take ownership of the solution. You realize that no one is stopping you but you. It's not your parents, not your boss, not society. It's you. Most men fail because they refuse to take responsibility. They want to blame the system, their childhood, or their circumstances. But there are men who came from worse situations and still made it. There are men who had every reason to quit, but didn't. There are men who faced more obstacles than you and still found a way to win. The difference, they didn't make excuses. They took responsibility for their own success. Taking responsibility means doing what you said you would do even when no one is watching. It means showing up every day, putting in the work, and not expecting praise for it. It means handling your business whether you feel like it or not. A real man doesn't need to be told what to do. He does what needs to be done. He doesn't wait for motivation. He moves because it's his duty. There will be times when you fail. There will be times when you make mistakes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you'll be perfect. It means you own your failures just as much as your successes. If you mess up, admit it. If you fall short, fix it. But don't ever sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Don't ever waste time complaining about what could have been. Learn from it, grow from it, and move forward. Most people avoid responsibility because it's hard. It's hard to admit that you are where you are because of your own choices. It's hard to accept that you could have done better. But being a man isn't about taking the easy route. It's about doing what's necessary. It's about looking reality in the face and saying, I got this. The most powerful thing a man can do is take full responsibility for his life. It separates the weak from the strong, the boys from the men. Weak men complain, blame, and make excuses. Strong men own up, adjust, and take action. The choice is yours. Discipline over comfort is what separates men who succeed from those who remain stuck. It's easy to do what feels good in the moment. It's easy to sleep in, to skip the gym, to avoid hard conversations, to put off the work that needs to be done. But nothing great comes from comfort. Nothing worthwhile is built on laziness or procrastination. Every successful man, every strong leader, every great achiever in history has one thing in common. Discipline. They did what needed to be done even when they didn't feel like it. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't rely on inspiration. They built habits that carried them through the days when they weren't in the mood. A weak man chases comfort. He looks for shortcuts. He wants results without effort. He wants rewards without sacrifice. He chooses entertainment over education, pleasure over progress, and laziness over responsibility. But every time he chooses comfort, he pushes himself further away from the man he's supposed to be. He stays stuck in the same cycle, waking up late, wasting time, making excuses, and wondering why his life isn't changing. A man who chooses discipline understands that comfort is the enemy. He knows that growth happens when he pushes past what feels easy. He wakes up early, not because he wants to, but because he knows he has work to do. He goes to the gym, not because it's fun, but because his body is a reflection of his discipline. He grinds at his job, not because it's enjoyable every day, but because his family depends on him. Discipline's about doing what's right, not what's easy. It's about sticking to your commitments, no matter how you feel. It's about waking up before the sun rises, putting in extra hours, making sacrifices, and staying consistent, even when the results aren't immediate. Most people quit when things get hard because they're addicted to comfort. They think success should come quickly. They think progress should be easy. But real men understand that anything worth having takes time. They embrace the struggle. They learn to love the grind. They don't run from the pain, they use it. The greatest enemy of discipline is excuses. Excuses are what weak men use to justify their failures. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start tomorrow. But every time you make an excuse, you give away your power. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you reinforce bad habits that will keep you from growing. A man who wants to be great eliminates excuses. He doesn't wait until he feels ready. He doesn't wait for the perfect moment. He acts no matter what. Discipline is what builds mental toughness. When you train yourself to push past your feelings, you develop a mindset that can handle anything. Life will test you. You will have bad days. You will be tired. You will feel unmotivated. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward. It's what makes you unstoppable. A man who has discipline doesn't rely on motivation. Motivation is temporary. It fades. Some days you'll have it, some days you won't. But discipline is forever. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. There is no success without sacrifice. If you want to build a strong body, you have to sacrifice comfort in the gym. If you want to build wealth, you have to sacrifice unnecessary spending. If you want a strong relationship, you have to sacrifice your ego and put in effort. Everything comes at a cost. The question is, are you willing to pay it? Most people aren't. They want results, but they don't want to make sacrifices. They want success, but they don't want to put in the work. That's why most people stay average. A man who is disciplined understands that short-term sacrifice leads to long-term rewards. He knows that the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. Discipline is what turns dreams into reality. You can have all the goals in the world, but without discipline, they mean nothing. A goal without action is just a wish. A real man doesn't just talk about what he wants, he takes action. He moves with purpose. He sets a standard for himself, and he doesn't break it. He doesn't need someone to remind him to stay on track. He doesn't need someone to push him. He holds himself accountable. He demands excellence from himself every single day. The biggest test of discipline is consistency. Anyone can be disciplined for a day. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. But real discipline is about showing up day after day, even when no one is watching. It's about doing the right thing when there's no reward, no praise, no immediate gratification. It's about staying focused when distractions are everywhere. Most people start strong and fade when it gets tough. A man who is disciplined stays the course. He doesn't let emotions dictate his actions. He doesn't let obstacles stop him. He finds a way to keep going. Discipline's the foundation of self-respect. When you follow through on your commitments, you build confidence. You trust yourself. You know that no matter what happens, you will do what needs to be done. But when you break your commitments, when you give in to comfort, when you let yourself off the hook, you lose respect for yourself. You start to doubt your own abilities. You weaken your mindset. A man who lacks discipline cannot trust himself. And if he can't trust himself, no one else will either. Disciplined man sets the tone for those around him. People respect a man who is consistent. People follow a man who leads by example. If you want to be the kind of man that others look up to, you have to master yourself first. You can't expect others to take you seriously if you can't even stick to your own standards. A man who is disciplined commands respect without saying a word. His actions speak for him. His results prove his commitment. Everything in life comes down to choices. Every day you have the choice to be disciplined or to be comfortable. You have the choice to wake up early or to hit snooze. You have the choice to work hard or to slack off. You have the choice to improve yourself or to stay the same. Weak men make excuses. Strong men make it happen. The difference between where you are now and where you're facing adversity head on is what defines a man. Life is not supposed to be easy. Struggle is inevitable. Pain is inevitable. Challenges are guaranteed. The difference between men who rise and men who fall is how they respond when life punches them in the mouth. Weak men complain, retreat, and look for a way out. Strong men take the hit, adjust, and keep moving forward. A man's true character is revealed in times of hardship, not when things are easy. It's easy to be confident when everything is going right. It's easy to stay motivated when life is smooth. But what do you do when things fall apart? What do you do when the weight of the world is on your shoulders? That's what separates the strong from the weak. Most people run from adversity because it's uncomfortable. They don't want to deal with the pain, so they look for distractions. They numb themselves with entertainment, alcohol, social media, and anything that keeps them from facing their problems. But avoidance never solves anything. The more you run from your problems, the bigger they get. The more you delay facing adversity, the weaker you become. Strength is built in struggle. A man grows when he faces his problems head on, not when he hides from them. There will never be a perfect time to deal with the challenges in your life. There will never be a convenient moment to face your fears. The only way to overcome adversity is to confront it directly. Every successful man you admire has been through pain. They have been knocked down. They have failed. They have been tested. The reason they succeeded is that they didn't quit when things got hard. They didn't let setbacks define them. They used every obstacle as fuel. The man who refuses to quit is the man who wins. No matter how many times life hits you, you have to stand up one more time. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every hardship is a chance to become stronger. If you want to build unshakable confidence, you have to embrace adversity. Most people pray for an easy life, but easy lives create weak men. The strongest men are forged in fire. Pressure makes diamonds. Hardships create warriors. You don't get stronger by avoiding pain. You get stronger by enduring it. Every struggle you survive makes you more resilient. Every difficulty you overcome makes the next one easier. Most people don't realize that the challenges they are facing are exactly what they need to become the man they are supposed to be. Without adversity, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no strength. Adversity reveals who you really are. When things go wrong, do you blame others or do you take responsibility? When life gets hard, do you fold or do you fight? When you face setbacks, do you quit or do you push through? Your response to hardship determines your future. If you give up when things get tough, you'll always be controlled by circumstances. If you stand firm, nothing can break a man who refuses to be broken. Every time you overcome adversity, you build mental toughness, you develop grit, you learn how to handle stress, setbacks, and failure. You stop fearing the unknown because you know that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. That kind of confidence is priceless. It's not something you can fake. It's earned through struggle. It's built through years of pushing through when others would quit. A man who has faced adversity and come out stronger is a man who cannot be shaken. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. The discomfort you feel when facing a challenge will pass, but the regret of running away will stay with you. Every time you push through adversity, you get better. Every time you endure hardship, you grow. Weak men avoid adversity because they are afraid of pain. But the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. One day you will look back on your life, and the only thing that will matter is whether you faced your challenges or ran from them. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to fight your battles for you. No one is going to hand you success. If you want to be strong, you have to go through the fire. If you want to be great, you have to endure what others cannot. The difference between winners and losers is not talent. It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's the ability to keep going when things get tough. Most people quit at the first sign of difficulty. They throw in the towel when things don't go their way. That's why most people never reach their full potential. A man who is willing to fight through adversity will always come out on top. Adversity is the best teacher. It exposes your weaknesses. It forces you to improve. It teaches you lessons that comfort never could. You learn more from failure than from success. You grow more from pain than from pleasure. Every time you struggle, you have a choice. You can let it break you or you can let it build you. Weak men complain about their problems. Strong men use their problems to become better. The truth is, no one cares about your excuses. No one cares how hard your life is. No one is going to feel sorry for you. The world rewards results, not excuses. The only way to get what you want in life is to fight for it. The only way to become the man you are meant to be is to embrace the struggle. The most successful men in the world didn't have it easy. They went through hell, but they never gave up. They faced adversity head on, and they came out stronger. You are capable of more than you think. You have more strength than you realize, but you will never know your full potential until you are tested. You will never understand how strong you are until you go through adversity and refuse to break. Every man has a choice. You can let life control you, or you can take control of your life. You can be a victim, or you can be a warrior. The choice is yours. Leading with integrity is what separates real men from the rest. Integrity is not just about being honest when it's easy. It's about standing on your principles when it's hard. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's about being the same man in private that you are in public. A man without integrity is weak. He changes based on who he is around. He bends his morals when it benefits him. He says one thing but does another. But a man with integrity is solid. His word means something. His actions match his values. People trust him because they know he stands on something real. Most people say they have integrity, but when pressure comes, they fold. They take shortcuts. They do what's convenient instead of what's right. But a man with real integrity does not waver. He does not compromise his character for approval, money, or comfort. He is the same man whether people are watching or not. When he gives his word, he keeps it. When he commits to something, he follows through. He doesn't need people to hold him accountable because he holds himself accountable. Integrity is tested in the small things. If you lie about the little things, you'll lie about the big things. If you cut corners when no one is looking, you'll cut corners when it matters. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you want to be a man of integrity, it starts with the everyday decisions. Do you show up when you say you will? Do you keep your promises? Do you own up to your mistakes? Or do you make excuses? A man with integrity is not afraid to tell the truth. Most people lie because they fear the consequences of honesty. They want to avoid conflict. They want to protect their ego. But honesty is the foundation of trust. If people can't trust your word, they can't trust you. A man who tells the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, earns respect. He doesn't sugarcoat things to make people feel good. He speaks with honesty, but also with wisdom. He understands that truth without wisdom can be destructive. So he speaks in a way that builds rather than tears down. Integrity is about consistency. It's easy to do the right thing once in a while, but real integrity is about doing the right thing every time. It's about having standards and sticking to them no matter the situation. A man without integrity changes based on who he is around. He acts one way with his family, another way with his friends, and another way at work. But a man of integrity is the same everywhere. He doesn't pretend to be someone he's not. He is real, authentic, and unshakable in his values. Most people respect a man with integrity, even if they don't agree with him. That's because people admire consistency. They may not like what you stand for, but if you stand for something, they will respect you. A man who constantly changes to fit in loses all respect. People see through the act. They know he is not real. But a man who stands on his values, even when it costs him something, earns the respect of those around him. Integrity is built over time, but lost in an instant. A single lie, a single betrayal, a single compromise can destroy years of trust. That's why a real man protects his integrity at all costs. He does not allow himself to be swayed by temptation. He does not put himself in situations where his character can be questioned. He understands that trust is hard to earn and easy to lose. He would rather suffer doing the right thing than succeed by doing the wrong thing. Integrity is also about taking responsibility. A weak man blames others for his mistakes. He looks for ways to avoid accountability. But a man with integrity owns up to his failures. He admits when he is wrong. He doesn't hide from consequences. He faces them. People respect a man who takes responsibility for his actions. They may not always like what he did, but they will respect him for being honest about it. Integrity applies to every area of life. In business, it means being honest in your dealings, not cutting corners, and delivering what you promise. In relationships, it means being loyal, keeping your word, and treating people with respect. In personal growth, it means staying true to your values, even when no one is watching. A man of integrity does not have two faces. He does not change based on convenience. He is rooted in his principles, and that makes him unshakable. Integrity is rare in today's world. Most people are willing to lie, cheat, and manipulate to get ahead. They justify it by saying everyone else is doing it. But a real man doesn't care what everyone else is doing. He does what is right, even if he is the only one. He understands that true success is not just about money or status, it's about character. A man who has integrity can walk through life with his head held high because he knows he has nothing to hide. A man with integrity does not let outside forces dictate his values. He does not compromise his principles for temporary gain. He would rather lose a deal than lie to get ahead. He would rather take the hard road than betray his values for an easy win. That's because he understands that in the long run, integrity always wins. People remember a man's character more than his achievements. A man who is known for his integrity will always be trusted, respected, and valued. Integrity requires courage. It takes strength to stand alone when everyone else is going in the wrong direction. It takes bravery to tell the truth when a lie would be easier. It takes confidence to hold yourself to a higher standard when no one else does. A man of integrity does not need external validation because he knows he is living by his own code. He is not swayed by peer pressure, money, or fear. He does what is right no matter the cost. Living with integrity means setting an example for others. People look up to a man who is honest, consistent, and reliable. He doesn't just talk about values, he lives them. He doesn't have to preach about integrity because his actions speak for him. His life becomes a testament to his principles. He inspires others not by what he says, but by what he does. Integrity is tested in the hardest moments. It's easy to do the right thing when there's no pressure. But when there's money on the line, when your reputation is at stake, when you have something to lose, those are the moments that define you. A man of integrity does not let fear dictate his actions. He does not sell out his values for temporary relief. He stands firm no matter the circumstances. A real man understands that integrity is the foundation of everything else. Without integrity, success is empty. Without integrity, relationships fall apart. Without integrity, a man has no real power. Power is not just about influence or control, it's about trust. A man with integrity commands respect because people know he can be trusted. They know his word is solid. They know he will not compromise his values for convenience. A man without integrity may rise quickly, but he will fall just as fast. A man with integrity may take longer to reach the top, but when he does, he stays there. That's because his success is built on a strong foundation. It's not built on deception, shortcuts, or betrayal. It's built on honesty, consistency, and character. A real man does not trade his integrity for anything. It is the most valuable thing he has, and he protects it at all costs. Discipline is the foundation of greatness. It is the bridge between who you are now and who you are destined to be. Without discipline, talent is wasted. Without discipline, potential remains unrealized. A man who lacks discipline is a man who will always fall short. He may have dreams, but he will never achieve them. He may have goals, but he will never reach them. Because discipline is what turns ambition into action, what turns effort into results, what turns a vision into reality. Most people struggle with discipline because they rely on motivation. They wait until they feel like doing the work. They wait until they are in the mood to grind. But discipline is not about feelings. It is about commitment. It is about waking up and doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you wake up energized, ready to take on the world. Other days you wake up tired, uninspired, and unmotivated. If you rely on motivation, you will be inconsistent. But if you build discipline, you will be unstoppable. Discipline is about training yourself to do the hard things, even when you don't want to. It is about conditioning your mind to push through discomfort, to embrace struggle, to resist temptation. Most men fail because they take the easy route. They choose pleasure over progress. They choose comfort over growth. But the easy route never leads to greatness. If you want to be successful, you have to do what others won't. You have to sacrifice what others won't. You have to be willing to grind when others quit. A disciplined man does not make excuses. He does not blame his circumstances. He does not look for reasons to quit. He finds a way to get it done. He wakes up early, even when he wants to sleep in. He goes to the gym, even when he's tired. He works on his goals, even when distractions are pulling him away. He understands that success is not about how you feel in the moment. It is about what you do consistently. The reason most people never achieve their goals is because they lack the discipline to stick with them. They start strong, but as soon as things get difficult, they stop. They want instant results, and when they don't get them, they give up. But discipline is about playing the long game. It is about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process. It is about understanding that success does not happen overnight. It happens through years of consistent effort. A disciplined man is in control of his actions. He does not let his emotions dictate his behavior. He does not let distractions pull him away from his purpose. He does not let bad habits control his life. He makes decisions based on his goals, not based on how he feels in the moment. He understands that every choice he makes either moves him closer to his dreams or further away from them. Discipline is built through repetition. The more you practice self-control, the stronger it becomes. Every time you resist temptation, you strengthen your willpower. Every time you push through discomfort, you build resilience. Every time you do the hard thing instead of the easy thing, you reinforce the mindset of a champion. But just like a muscle, if you don't train it, it weakens. Every time you give in to laziness, you make it harder to be disciplined. Every time you skip the work, you reinforce the habit of quitting. Most men struggle with discipline because they have no structure. They wake up without a plan. They go through their day reacting to whatever happens instead of taking control. A disciplined man has a routine. He has a schedule. He does not leave his success to chance. He sets clear goals, he creates a plan, and he follows through. He understands that discipline is not about being perfect, it is about being consistent. Discipline is not just about working hard, it is about working smart. It is about prioritizing what matters. A disciplined man does not waste time on meaningless activities. He does not scroll on social media for hours. He does not binge watch TV shows instead of working on his goals. He values his time because he knows it is the most valuable resource he has. He understands that every second wasted is a second he will never get back. A disciplined man also understands the power of sacrifice. He knows that to achieve something great, he has to give up certain things. He might have to sacrifice late nights with friends so he can wake up early and work. He might have to sacrifice junk food so he can be in the best shape of his life. He might have to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term success. But he does it because he knows that discipline is about making choices that serve his future, not just his present. Discipline is also about self-respect. A man who respects himself does not allow laziness to control his life. He does not allow bad habits to dictate his future. He does not settle for mediocrity. He holds himself to a higher standard. He expects more from himself. He pushes himself to be better every single day. And because he respects himself, others respect him too. Most people admire disciplined men because discipline is rare. Most people give in to temptation. Most people take the easy way out. Most people live undisciplined lives. That is why most people never reach their full potential. But a man with discipline stands out. He commands respect. He earns success. He becomes the kind of man others look up to. Discipline is the foundation of confidence. When you know you have put in the work, you walk differently. When you know you have trained hard, studied hard, and prepared yourself, you step into any situation with certainty. Confidence is not built on empty words. It is built on discipline. It is built on the knowledge that you have done everything necessary to win. A disciplined man does not wait for the perfect moment to start. He does not wait for the right circumstances. He starts now. He understands that action creates momentum. He knows that every step he takes, no matter how small, moves him closer to his goals. He does not procrastinate. He does not hesitate. He takes action even when he doesn't feel ready. Most men fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack discipline. Talent can only take you so far. At some point, hard work will always beat talent when talent refuses to work. The most successful men in the world are not always the smartest or the most gifted. They are the most disciplined. They are the ones who showed up every single day, put in the work, and never made excuses. Discipline is about taking control of your life. It is about refusing to be a slave to bad habits, distractions, and laziness. It is about deciding that you will be the master of your own destiny. A man who is disciplined is a man who cannot be stopped. He may face obstacles, but he will push through. He may experience failure, but he will not quit, because he understands that discipline is not about being perfect. It is about never giving up. When it's all said and done, being a man isn't about how much money you make, how many accolades you've earned, or how many people recognize your name. Being a man is about who you are when no one's watching, how you carry yourself when life punches you in the mouth, and how you treat the people around you when things don't go your way. It's about resilience, integrity, accountability, discipline, and leading with purpose. These aren't just words. They're principles. A blueprint for living a life that matters, for building a legacy that outlasts you. Because at the end of the day, life is going to test you. It's going to throw challenges your way that you never saw coming. It's going to knock you down, strip away your confidence, and make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But being a man isn't about avoiding those challenges. It's about facing them head on. It's about standing tall when the weight of the world is on your shoulders and saying, I'm still here. It's about refusing to let your circumstances define you and instead choosing to rise above them. That's what separates boys from men. Boys run when things get tough. Men dig deep, plant their feet, and keep moving forward no matter what. But here's the thing, being a man doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. You will. You'll mess up, you'll fall short, you'll disappoint yourself and others. But what defines you is what you do after those mistakes. Do you own them? Do you learn from them? Do you come back stronger? A real man doesn't let failure break him. He lets it build him. He understands that every setback is a setup for a comeback. He doesn't hide from his flaws. He confronts them, works on them, and becomes better because of them. Integrity is the cornerstone of being a man. Your word has to mean something. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you make a promise, keep it. If you mess up, admit it. People should be able to trust you because you've proven that you stand on your principles. It's easy to talk about values when everything is going well, but true integrity is revealed when no one's watching, when no one will ever know if you cut corners or took the easy way out. A man with integrity is consistent. He doesn't change depending on who he's around or what the situation is. He's the same person in private that he is in public. And because of that, people respect him. They trust him. They know he's solid. But respect isn't something you demand, it's something you earn. And you earn it through discipline. Discipline is the fuel that keeps you moving when motivation runs out. It's waking up early to chase your goals even when you're tired. It's staying focused when distractions are pulling at you from every direction. It's sacrificing temporary comfort for long-term success. A man who lacks discipline will always fall short, no matter how talented he is. Talent might get you in the door, but discipline is what keeps you in the room. It's what separates the good from the great. It's what allows you to build momentum, to stack wins day after day until you've built a life you're proud of. And let's not forget accountability. A real man takes responsibility for his actions. He doesn't blame others for his mistakes. He doesn't make excuses when things don't go his way. He looks in the mirror and owns his role in every situation. That's not weakness, that's strength. It's easy to point fingers and shift blame. It takes real courage to say, I messed up and I'm going to fix it. Accountability isn't just about admitting when you're wrong. It's about being proactive in your life. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your own story. You have the power to change your circumstances, but only if you're willing to take responsibility for them.